So are you wasting energy when you ride? Lots of riders do, and today I'm going to help you avoid that common pitfall. Hey everyone, it's Graeme Street. I'm the owner for cyclo-core, and you're joining me here on my YouTube channel or on cyclo-core.com. Today I'm going to go over mistake number 3 in my lineup here for common mistakes that us everyday cyclists make. Today is about wasting energy. This one is huge. If you paid attention to my last couple emails, my last video, we talked about riding kind of hard all the time. Mistake number 1. Not riding hard enough to make an impact, enough stress to get a result, and not riding easy enough after that hard workout to get enough recovery. Huge mistake, one that we can fix absolutely to get you ongoing results. Mistake number 2. Avoiding your weaknesses, avoiding things like your back durability, your muscular endurance, your neuromuscular capacity, your endurance as a whole. Avoiding these things or spending more time on your strengths and avoiding your weaknesses is a guaranteed way to not get results. We need to approach our weaknesses head on. Once those two things are solved, then it comes down to avoiding mistake number 3, which is wasting all of the energy that you've worked so hard to gain. It's amazing to me how many riders spend money on their bikes and on their wheels and on their, I'm going to go to a 10 speed to 11 speed. I'm going to go from regular aluminum wheels to $2,000 NV, full blinged out wheels. And that's going to change my riding forever. Look, just because I drive a Ferrari doesn't mean I conserve energy well or I drive that Ferrari to its best ability. It just means I have a Ferrari. And I think a lot of riders will tend to avoid the facts about how to ride faster and stronger on a bike using themselves as the tool to do that. Todd writes in here, Graeme, I'm determined to not get dropped off the back on my weekend group rides this year. They tend to start out harder than I'd prefer. I'm talking about that here in a second. I struggle after the first hour, especially in the hills. What program do you suggest? Any tips you can offer would be much appreciated. Todd, the first thing to avoid is wasting energy, like I just stated. Lots of riders will tend to not use what they've gained. So if you've gained threshold performance, you've gained strength, you've lost weight, that's all great, especially as a solo rider. However, once you're into a group, now we need to conserve energy. We need to use the group as an advantage. More importantly, we need to make sure that we're putting ourselves in a position not to waste energy. This comes from number 1, being in the right gear at the right time, or more importantly, not being in the wrong gear at the wrong time. Once you lose forward momentum on the bicycle and you're in the wrong gear and your RPMs go from a static 90 to 70 or 65, like that, you have to put out almost twice the amount of energy to get your inertia and momentum back up to speed. This is a problem. This is one of the reasons why in my programs I spend so much time in such a huge array of cadences, gearing and cadences, gearing, cadence, and intensity, gearing, cadence, intensity, and technique. Why do we practice so many varieties of these? It's simple. At some point, even a very skilled rider is going to be at a disadvantage on the bicycle by the wrong gear choice, the wrong position choice, or they've just been caught out. We need to have the capacity in ourselves from a fitness perspective and an intelligence perspective to make quick choices to maintain that forward inertia, that forward impetus. Because once the inertia drops, the amount of energy it requires to move back up to speed sometimes goes by double, triple, quadruple. And every time that happens, by the way, you have to pay that back. So although you may be able to do it initially, you accrue basically a tax. And that tax has to be paid back. You have to pay back that loan, if you will. You've had to borrow extra energy to get there. Bad idea. What we want to do on the bicycle is use our training to assure ourselves that we can pay back that tax quicker, that we can get back up to speed quicker, and we can avoid the common pitfalls of falling off the back, which is pretty much where Todd is having some problems. Lots of group rides will tend to go out a little bit harder than most people expect. One way to avoid that is to get a little bit better warm-up. You should not be just rolling into your group ride, especially if you know it's a hard group ride or you've got people that like to spark it up, so to speak, in the first 10 minutes or so. You need to come up with a strong warm-up. You need to be prepared to be able to throw out your threshold and above in the first 10 minutes of a 50-mile ride, if you choose to ride with a group. And depending on the group, that can happen a lot. In other cases, the group will go out nice and slow and allow everyone to warm up, and then it gets hot and heavy if it gets hot and heavy. But my experience has been that rarely happens. So you need to be prepared for that. It usually comes with a more prolonged warm-up. And of course, pre-training in advance by yourself that works on things like threshold, repeatability, recoverability, ranges of your cadence and heart rate. That way these things are no longer a surprise to you when you show up for a group, a race, a century event, or whatever it may be. Lots of riders will tend to fall victim to this because they expect that the group ride or the event will play out just like they trained, which is solo and on your terms. Usually when a group ride happens, it's not on your terms, it's on everyone's terms, and sometimes not in your favor. So consider that. Next thing is your body position. Now, we've talked about this before. One of the reasons in my programs why I spend so much time on core and functional strength with cyclo-core, cyclo-iron workouts is simple. It's not just to make you stronger. It's not just to give you good-looking muscles and help you get leaner and all that stuff. Well, that's a nice side ancillary benefit. What we're looking for is to make your body nimble, more mobile, more proficient. Because if I can get you in a lower position with greater sustainable power, you get faster. It's just that simple. Because of course your biggest obstacle you have on the bicycle is what? It's not the hills, it's air. You're always trying to get through air. Even if it's not a windy day, you are getting your body through air mass. And that air mass has resistance, or what we call drag. And what we want is less drag. You are the drag. So if your head's all propped up, your shoulders are nice and wide, and you're sitting there at 20 miles an hour throwing out 250 watts, you are holding yourself back simply because you are out of position. We get you in position, okay, at the same rate, at the same power, so to speak, you should see a 0.5, 1, 1.5, sometimes up to 2 mile per hour difference just by going from here to here. And the longer you can sustain this, or the more you can use it as an advantage, the more energy you will conserve. A lot of people tend to make the mistake of, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to ride as hard as I can, that riding kind of hard all the time. I don't want to finish a ride and set a PR on my time and say, hey, I threw out the most energy ever. I want to throw out the most efficient energy ever. In fact, in general, most of my PR rides, whether it's 20 mile or 40 mile or 80 mile or whatever it may be, don't usually see an increase in sustainable or average weighted power. They typically see an increase in proficiency and efficiency at the same power or less. Remember, we want a net advantage to us. We want to spend less to get more back. Lots of people tend to forget this common law of understanding of how to conserve energy. And if you can begin to understand that, especially on a bicycle, you should start to see progress across the boards. Now, obviously to get there, we have to have some components built in. If your muscular endurance is lagging, can you have proficiency of energy for longer periods of time? No. Your muscles will wear out too quick. So we need to work on that. If I have a course that has lots of ups and downs, corners, accelerations, but I only have this one gear duck in water riding kind of hard all the time mentality, am I gonna be able to be as proficient as I can across that varied spectrum? Probably not. And it's because you're gonna be losing that energy because you're making mistakes or you don't have the range built into your training to keep your momentum up. Again, lots of riders will tend to forget this. Well, I ride, 150 miles a week, so that must mean that when I get to my group ride, I've got enough fitness to hang with the punches. I doubt it. And the reason why is if you've been riding those 150 miles the same old way, the same routine again and again, your body has not created a variable rate spectrum. And because of that, you will get popped off the back with accelerations. You'll get popped off the back because your recovery sucks. You'll get popped off the back because your repeatability isn't there. These things have to be worked on. They have to be worked on again and again and again and escalated over time. And next thing you know, you get to that group ride like, holy shit. Yeah, I'm able to hang with the punches, I'm able to pull at the front, I'm able to move to the back, stay in the group. One of the things in the Cyclo 90 Masters program is Paceline Master, which is a really tough micro-interval workout. The workout is designed literally to train your body to deal with pacelines, to deal with groups, to learn what is needed and required to maintain an A-level plus group ride. Even if you're a B-level, C-level rider, you can do it. It's a matter of understanding how it works. And once you understand how it works and what you can do to prepare for it, it's like the lights go on like, holy crap. So I don't have to just move at 18 miles an hour. I can move at 24 miles an hour with the group. Yeah, but I'm a beginner or I'm in year 3 or 4. I can't do that. Of course you can. As long as you've got the muscular props to back it up, which is what I do, which is what my programs are about, and you've got the intelligence and the know-how of how to make sure that you can use what you have to your advantage, anything is possible. Most people think that they have to work super hard and hour upon hour to achieve that. No. Intelligence is a fast-track way to make everything simpler. That's what getting smarter really, I guess, is all about. My friends, I hope these tips are helpful. Conserve your energy. Use it to your advantage. Work on getting your ass lower into the wind. Right there alone, I just helped you break every PR you've got across the boards, and I would be willing to put all of my money on that. It's really just that simple. By the way, below me, I've got an opportunity to get the Cyclo 90 Masters workouts, just the hit 40s and cool coaching sessions, without the plan, without the iron workouts. I know many of you don't want to follow a plan. That's fine. Even though I recommend that you do, I think it's better to follow a full system that works, that covers your bets across the board. So every week you see this progress. If you're one of those riders that just wants some workouts, you want some techniques every now and then, you can get the download or the DVD for the Masters workouts today. If you want guaranteed results, I'd be looking at the Masters training system, which will give you everything all combined and give you that spectrum week after week after week. And remember, the end result is greater than the sum of its parts. It really is. When you get the net effect of all of these things, the functional strength, the muscular endurance, the neuromuscular capacity, paceline master, threshold rotation master, all these things coming together, that's where everything begins to click. And having things click gives you the best opportunity to conserve your energy and get what you want. Till we speak again, my friends, with a smile on your face, hope you're doing well. I'll talk to you soon.